The accused Highland Park shooter from getting the guns used in the attack.
State police are defending the decision to give him a gun permit despite a history of concerning behavior. Investigative reporter Ben Bradley joining us now with that part of the story. Ben.
Micah and Ray, state police say they followed the law when issuing the firearms owner identification card that allowed the alleged shooter to buy several guns, including the high-powered rifle used in the attack. But the tragedy on the North Shore is now influencing the national debate over who should be allowed to own a weapon and why a previous threat and mental health concerns are apparently not enough to disqualify someone from owning deadly weapons.
We now know the Highland Park shooting suspect had as many red flags as there were American flags along the parade route he's accused of turning into a murder scene.
Red flag laws don't work. This is not about mental health. It's about confiscating firearms.
From coast to coast, there are questions. In 2019, police reports indicate the alleged shooter attempted to commit suicide by machete, had a history of drug use, admitted to being depressed, and threatened to kill everyone. He was never charged with the threat, but Highland Park police filed what's known as a clear and present danger form. Nonetheless, months later, Illinois State Police gave him a gun permit.
And you look at the law that with regards to clear and present danger, what the statute requires, what is that threshold? That did not meet that threshold.
Due to his age in 2019, the suspect needed a parent's endorsement to get a firearms owner identification card. His father gave it.
I'm just so intrigued by the idea that his father, 3 months after the family was scared for their own lives, would endorse this guy's ability to buy a firearm.
Another red flag was painted in black and yellow. A gun-wielding character painted on the back of the suspect's home with a smiley face, similar to one seen on his clothing. Then there are the violence-laced music videos the suspect posted online long before the 4th of July attack. Law enforcement says no one reported them.
Law enforcement's going to do everything they possibly can to ensure the community is kept safe. But if we don't know about it, it's hard for us to investigate.
Mental health experts say that is a failure of family and friends.
Johnny just isn't looking right. And the best way I can help him is to tell somebody.
Well, I don't think anyone's ever aware of any red flags that make them think that their son is going to go out in their own community and start shooting people.
The day after the shooting, the suspect's parents' attorney spoke with News Nation.
If you ask the father now, would you sponsor your son to get a FOID card? The answer, of course, would be no. I wouldn't have sponsored him. But, you know, his son had the guns. He was using them lawfully. He would go to the range. He was storing them properly. So there were no red flags.
This is at least the second mass shooting in our area in recent years where gun permit procedures have been called into question. In 2019, 5 people died at a workplace in Aurora. The gunman's FOID card had been revoked several years earlier, but state police only sent him a letter asking him to turn in his guns. There was no follow-up. It prompted a new law requiring police to actually remove guns from people with revoked permits. As for Highland Park, the director of the state police said it's up to elected officials to change the law if they want a lower standard for denying the right to gun ownership.
You know, in response to Covelli, Sergeant Covelli saying that they didn't know the picture was behind there, but when they came to the house a couple of times, didn't they look around to see what was going on there?
In advance, he was saying nobody reported the violent videos that were online for months beforehand.
But why didn't they see the body, you know, painted on the wall?
The paint, I assume investigators saw it when they went to the house after the shooting, but this whole notion that so often, as we've covered these, after the fact, people say, oh, yeah, well, there was this, and there was this, and there was this. And whether it's a firearms restraining order, which is possible to the Lake County State's Attorney, putting out information saying, here's the form, please, if you're concerned about somebody, file a report.
It also comes down to changing the law, it sounds like.
Potentially.
Thanks, Ben.
WGN will continue to cover new